Hello and welcome to The Hop, a podcast designed to help small and medium business owners navigate the ever-changing landscape of marketing. I'm your host, Matt Taylor Farrington, and the owner of Purple Bunny Marketing. And today I'm joined by Samuel from our team, and we're going to be talking about social media advertising. Yep. Right, so let's dive into it or hop to it. So we're going to talk about social media budgets. Obviously, a common question we get asked from clients. We get asked a lot. About how much should I spend, what's the budget, and all that sort of stuff. But something that we also find that comes up, I guess, and we want to talk about is, does time periods like, for example, now where we're in end of financial year, we're in June, obviously everyone's spending, everyone's got an offer, everyone's got a hook. Do I need to increase my budget during that time?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like anything regarding budgets and advertising, digitally or physically, it depends on what you're trying to sell and what you're trying to do and what your goals are.
Yes.
But quite commonly, we find that, during in a financial year period, your competitors are spending more. There's a lot more people bidding for attention. So you've got a lot more competition in the market. And if you want your ads, and whether that's on Google or Meta or TikTok, if you want your ads to show above your competitors, you need to be outspending them or outbidding them.
Correct. Yeah. And I do think, during this time, you've got more people, I guess, advertising as well.
Yeah.
So not only do you have people increasing their budgets, but you have people also, we have, I guess, advertisers that aren't traditionally advertising throughout the whole year that are running an offer. So it becomes quite congested. And in order for yours to get above and get that reach and get that delivery for you to get the result, unfortunately, during those peak times, you do have to increase. I mean, it's the same as at the end of the year when we have things like the Black Friday sales and the click frenzies. Yeah, definitely your budget needs to increase dramatically during those times because there's a lot of advertisers at that time of year. Yeah,
there is. And people are ready for big sales at end of financial year too. So you've got to deal with a customer base that's probably going to be a little bit more aware of your past sales and people who are more engaged with what you've been doing in the past. And they're expecting something big as well. So that's another thing to think about.
100%, yeah. I guess moving on from then there is a function within Facebook that allows you to do budget scheduling. Yeah. So what is budget scheduling and how does it work and how can we use it and maximize it for times like these?
Personally, again, like anything, it depends on what your goals are. What budget scheduling is and what it allows you to do is to increase your budget during certain peak times where you might expect more engagement and more traffic from interested customers into your products or services. To take advantage of that, boost an interest. So, for example, if you're doing something related to fishing equipment and there's a fishing expo on one weekend, well, you might want to change your budget schedule to take advantage of that additional interest on that weekend or week or however long that period may be.
Yes.
You can also do it on a more macro scale where you can increase it during certain times of the day.
Yes.
So, for example, if you find that your customer base is more engaged at 6 to 7 p.m. at night, you can increase your budget around that 1 hour every day and try and take advantage of that, increased engagement, increased awareness.
Yes. Yeah, and I think it's a good way for people who, if you find or understand, I guess, when your audience is on buying or interacting. I mean, for example, I know with our merchandising business that at nighttime are our peak times and we know that weekends are our peak times. So we increase our budget to cover those times because we know that that's going to get us a better return than during the day. We still keep it running during the day, but we have a slightly lighter budget during that time. So, look, I do think being able to schedule your budget, and I think that's a great feature that Facebook or Meta has brought out to allow you to do that across the platforms. And Google. Yes, sorry. We're always so focused on Meta, but I guess it does. It allows you to be a lot more tailored with your message and what you're doing. Yeah,
it does. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so we've talked about budgeting and that side of stuff. I guess another question that we get quite regularly around it, and I think we've talked about it briefly before around...
Probably more than once.
Yeah. Yes. Well, it's a common question we get asked is, campaign length. Sometimes, for example, we work with a lot of gyms. We work with car dealers who will do a little boost sale from time to time. If I've got a short-term campaign that's only going to last, say, a week, for example, what would be your recommendation to get the best result from that? Because we know that with ad campaigns, the learning phase now and all the things that go into that can take some time.
Yes.
So how do we overcome that and get the best result while still using social media ads?
Well, in the specific area of social media, if you're just going to run for a week, and again, it depends on your goals, but if you're going to run something for a week, it usually is better to simply use a boosted campaign.
Yes.
You know, one of the advantages of boosted campaigns is that it's also a post on your page. So it's not just something running in the background, it's something that people can see, you can pin it and whatnot. And it does mean you get to avoid some of those learning phase issues, right? Whereas if you've got a lead campaign, personally, I wouldn't really run a lead campaign over just 1 week because there's simply not enough time for Meta to go through that learning phase and to find the ideal customer for that exact offer that you're doing. And I think people sleep on the power of engagement campaigns, honestly.
Yes.
Because they're low cost. You can use it to generate likes to the page. You can use it to generate views. You can use it to create a base for retargeting for your lead campaigns.
Yes.
And you can set the budget to something like $3 or $4 a day and still come out with thousands of views a week, depending on how large your audience is, of course.
Yeah, correct.
So that's something to consider there. But with lead campaigns, personally, 3 weeks is probably the minimum, I'd say. But I do prefer longer ones for leads. I prefer longer ones.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I think if you're going to run something that's only running for 5 or 7 days, say a sale, and you want that, I guess, immediate impact straight away, a boosted post. And I guess the best thing about that too is that as a boosted post, it actually is on your page too. So your followers are naturally already seeing it. And again, like you mentioned, pinning it to the top is a great way as well for that sale. So anyone visits your page or your engagement during that time, they'll see it straight away. It's right there. Yeah. So I think I agree. I think short-term campaigns, running an ad is just not the way to do it. You want to do a boosted campaign 100%. And I think it's a lesson, for business to understand that with social media advertising, you want to think more longer term than shorter term. And I think sometimes we get caught in these monthly traps of, we're going to run a sale this month, we're going to run this, we're going to do this, etc. I think if we can do something more around quarterly based activity. It will definitely benefit the business in the long run, especially from a social media perspective for advertising with all of the functionality there in the sense of getting out of learning phase and all those things. It'll just mean that it'll perform better. Not only that, once the campaign does perform and it learns, it will continue to perform.
It will.
And stopping and starting campaigns constantly, you're just getting in and out of that learning phase. And all you're doing is giving Facebook more money.
Pretty much, more money for less leads.
Yeah. Agreed. All right.
Plus, you can grow your audience with posts, boosted posts as well. You can grow your page likes too. It's a much more effective method of getting likes because of, as you mentioned before, with pinning the post to the page, and it's something that people can see whether it's being advertised currently or not.
Yes.
It's always there. So another soft benefit there.
Agreed. All right. Well, I think that's wrapped up all of our questions. I think we've covered off a couple of good things there, especially around budgets, short-term campaigns and campaigns in general about what to do when. So thanks for tuning into The Hop. Obviously, subscribe below if you want to stay up to date with all the latest marketing trends and updates as we bring them to you. Special thanks to Sam for popping in and having a talk about social media advertising, in particular around budgets and short burst campaigns. If you have an opinion or want to weigh in on the topic that we've talked about today, obviously make sure you comment via our socials. So stay tuned to The Hop, helping you to get your marketing hopping.